Good evening. Here is the world news from our studio BGI TV, Baba, Bagede Imo TV. I am yours faithfully, Morire Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. OAU students, fresh controversy erupts over emergence of 2 autopsy reports. 4 persons killed in Gombe road accidents. EFCC set to verify assets of bank CEOs, top managers. Bandits camper for safety as military raid criminal enclave in Sokoto. Osh Papi, 6 months after FBI indictment, IGP yet to forward advice on Kyari. Nigeria records 1,584 new COVID-19 cases, highest in 10 months. Operatives rescue 34 children from traffickers, intercept 64,000 gun cartridges. Portugal, France begin vaccinating younger children from the foreign story. Taliban government resumes issuing Afghan passports in Kabul. And sports, Real sacks European clubs Afghan draft plus other top stories. UAE denies Nigerian athletes access to partake in World Swimming Championships. Now the news and details. Police probe of last month's death of the Obafemi Awolowo University Ilefe MBA student Timothy Adegoke appears to have thrown up a challenge for detectives following the emergence of 2 autopsy reports on the cause of his death. Adegoke, 37, died at Hilton Hotel Ilefe shortly after checking into the facility on Friday, November 5th, and his corpse was dumped in a grave on the outskirts of the city. The owner of the hotel, Dr. Rahman Adedoyin, and some of his employees are being detained over Adegoke's death. The autopsy conducted on the corpse is now generating claims and counterclaims from the family of the victim and the suspects. The bone of contention is the phrase severe trauma used by the pathologist in one of the reports as the cause of Adegoke's death. The official reports are yet to be made public. The autopsy was conducted on November 22nd by 6 experts, including 3 pathologists. Their reports were presented to the police headquarters, Abuja, with a copy submitted on the Osun State Police Command penultimate Thursday. FRSC Public Enlightenment Officer in the state, Janet Kasa, who confirmed the accident to the news agency of Nigeria on Saturday, said the first accident, which occurred in Kwadam community around 11:25 a.m., involved a car and a motorcycle. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, in Gombe State has confirmed the death of 4 persons in 2 separate crashes that occurred in the state on Friday. She also said 12 persons were involved in the accident, which killed 1 person and injured 3 others. The remaining 8 persons, she said, were unhurt. Was a head-on collision involving 2 cars, and it occurred around 1:50 p.m. She stated that in the second accident, which occurred on the Gombe-Bauchi Express at about 1:50 p.m., was a head-on collision involving 2 cars. According to her, 12 persons were involved in the crash, which killed 3 people, with the remaining 9 sustaining injuries. Following compliance with its March 2021 directive to top bankers to submit their asset declaration, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is now set to verify their claims. More than 500 bank executives, including 120 chief executive officers, managing directors, and executive directors, have declared their assets in line with the June 30th deadline set by the EFCC, launched yesterday. The directive, handed down by EFCC Executive Chairman Abdulrashid Bawa, said it was in line with the Bank Employees Declaration of Assets Act 1986. By the Enabling Act, defaulters risk 10 years in jail if found guilty by any federal high courts. A well-placed source said yesterday that from the agency's record, there has been substantial compliance with the directive of the EFCC chairman by bank executives. Continuing, he said, although only the EFCC chairman can disclose the actual number of declarants, more than 500 top bankers have done so. Bandits operating within Isa, local government area of Sokoto State, on Thursday came under heavy fire from a joint military operation task force team. The bandits, who are said to be led by a certain Bello Turji, were left scampering in the wake of the raid, which left several marauders injured while others were killed. Sources in the army say the military onslaught was led by the general officer commanding of 8th Division Nigerian Army Headquarters, Sokoto, Major General Owen Basi. Two villages within Isa LGA, Satiru and Katanga, recently came under a series of attacks from bandits, leading to the death of many villagers. However, in a turnaround event, the military are said to have stormed the marauders' hideout between Thursday and Friday, killing many of the gunmen. Sources say some of the bandits who survived the raid were seen trying to flee along the outskirts of Bafara village, some running away on their motorcycles. As at the time of filing this report, all attempts to reach the division's army spokesman in the division was unsuccessful. Further details regarding the development are expected in the coming hours. Months after receiving the report of the probe panel on the alleged role of the suspected head of the Intelligence Response Team, DCP, Abahiari, the Inspector General of Police, Baba Usman, has not forwarded any disciplinary recommendations to the Police Service Commission, Saturday Punch lands. Kyari was investigated for his alleged role in a $1.1 million internet scam carried out by an Instagram influencer, Abbas Rahman, aka Osh Poppy, and 4 others. The probe followed Kyari's indictment by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigations, which recommended that the court be extradited to the U.S. to face trial. The U.S. Attorney's Office at the Central District of California declined comments on the warrant of arrest it issued over 6 months ago that the FBI should apprehend Kyari and other defendants in the case. The court's Director of Media Relations, Tom Mrokzek, in an email interview with Saturday Punch on December 13, 2021, also said the sentencing of Osh Poppy, who pleaded guilty to money laundering charges, was still pending. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has reported 1,584 new infections as the country's daily COVID-19 tally continues to rise. Giving an update on the outbreak of the disease in the country, the agency revealed in a Facebook post on Saturday that the new cases were confirmed in 10 states and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Data from the NCDC revealed that the figure reported on Friday is the highest number of cases to be recorded in the last 10 months. The last time the country logged a single-day tally higher than this was on February 6th, when the health agency said it confirmed 1,588 fresh infections. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, on patrol have intercepted 34 children along the Okene-Lokoja Expressway in Kogi State. NDLEA spokesman Femi Babafemi, who confirmed this in a statement on Friday, revealed that operatives also seized 64,000 pump-action gun cartridges and a new pump-action gun in Anambra. According to him, the children between the ages of 8 and 14 were being trafficked from Ijebu-Ode in Ogun State to the Federal Capital Territory. The minors packed in 2 commercial buses, Toyota Sienna and a 12-seater Mazda with registration numbers Lagos NLD 124FV and Oyo BDG 683YK, respectively, were recovered in the early hours of Thursday, 16th December, from the human trafficking syndicate, Babafemi said in a statement. The bus drivers confirmed that the kids were handed over to them by a woman at Ijebu-Ode to be conveyed to Abuja, adding that on arrival in FCT, the woman is to call another bus driver who will convey the children to Riom in Plateau States. And to foreign story, Portugal, one of the countries with the highest COVID-19 vaccination rates worldwide, began inoculating over 5 Saturdays, and France said it was ready to roll out jabs for them from next week. Europe is currently battling to rein in the spread of the highly mutated Omicron variant of the coronavirus, believed to be much more infectious, and the EU chief Ursula von der Leyen has warned the new strain could be dominant in Europe by mid-January. A number of countries have already opened up their immunization drives to younger children, even though the EU's health agency has warned that jabs alone will not be sufficient to stop the variant's rise. In Portugal, where 88.9% of the population is vaccinated, more than 60,000 children aged between 5 and 11 were set to receive their first jab of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine this weekend. And in France, Health Minister Olivier Véran said that jabs will start to be administered to children in the same age group from Wednesday. You are watching the world news from BGI TV. Next story is still on the foreign story from Afghan. Afghanistan's Taliban authorities said Saturday they will resume issuing passports in Kabul, giving hope to citizens who feel threatened living under the Islamist rule. Thousands of Afghans have also applied for new travel documents to escape a growing economic and humanitarian crisis described by the UN as an avalanche of hunger. The authorities will start issuing the travel documents from Sunday at Kabul's passport office. Alam Gul Akani, the head of the passport department in the Interior Ministry, told reporters. The Taliban stopped issuing passports shortly after their August 15 return to power, as tens of thousands of people scrambled to Kabul's only airport in the bid to catch any international flight that could evacuate them. In October, the authorities reopened the passport office in Kabul, only to suspend workdays later as a flood of thousands of applicants and applications caused the biometric equipment used there to break down. Now, sports story. As COVID-19 continues to pose a threat to sports globally amid the Omicron variant, calls for the postponement of the African Cup of Nations Afghan have gathered steam. In Nigeria, the Super Eagles' longest-serving coach was dismissed, while Accra United got rewarded for their title-winning feats. These and others makes up First 11 as we try to make sense of events in the sporting world in the past week. The decision came a month after Nigerians lost at home to the lowly rated Central African Republic (CAR) and survived a nervy game against Cape Verde to book a place in the playoff stage of the 2022 World Cup qualifier. Days after Rawls' dismissal, the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) President Amaju Pinnick explained that a decision had to be made to avoid disaster. According to him, the German had lost the dressing and indiscipline was rife in the team. And finally, from the sports angle, Nigerian athletes were disallowed from participating in the 15th FINA World Swimming Championships 2021 holding in Abu Dhabi, exclusively guarded. The athletes and their representatives claimed that they were denied access to participate in the competition by authorities of the United Arab Emirates on Thursday. According to the athletes, they arrived in UAE from European countries, not Nigeria, but were denied the opportunity representing their fatherland. On citing our Nigerian passport, the UAE officials treated us with disdain, a female athlete lamented. Among the athletes affected are Philip Adejumo and Abiola Ogunbanwo. Though organizers of the 2021 FINA are yet to respond to inquiries on the cause of the disqualification of the athletes, there is an ongoing diplomatic war between Nigeria and UAE. That was the world news from BGI TV, but before we go, a quick retake of the headlines once again. OAU students, fresh controversy erupts over emergence of 2 autopsy reports. 4 persons killed in Gombe road accident, FRSC. EFCC set to verify assets of bank CEOs, top managers. Bandits scamper for safety as military raid criminal enclave in Sokoto. Hush Puppy, 6 months after FBI indictment, IGP yet to forward advice on Kyari. Nigeria records 1,584 new COVID-19 cases, highest in 10 months. Operatives rescue 34 children from traffickers, intercepts 64,000 gun cartridges. Foreign, we brought to you, Portugal, France begin vaccinating younger children. Taliban government resumes issuing Afghan passports in Kabul. And from the sports, Ross sack, European clubs Afghan threat. Other top sports stories this week. And lastly, UAE denies Nigerian athletes access to partake in World Swimming Championships. Thank you for watching. You can link up for more updates on YouTube by Bagede Imo TV. Please subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates of our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For other placement of your goods and services and products, coverage of event and function, the phone number to call is 070-3822-6160. I am yours faithfully, Moriri Rebila Nawa. Have a wonderful weekend.